So what's up guys, I'm Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video on the channel where it looks like another part of what was the super Easter egg in Black Ops 4 Zombies has been found. That's right, if you're thinking, Eli, what are you on about? Super Easter egg in BO4, there's no such thing. You are right, because it was cut from the game, and although I don't believe I could be wrong here that we've ever had any official confirmation that there was a super Easter egg or was supposed to be one in Black Ops 4 Zombies, well, we found multiple secret rooms in pretty much all of the base maps in that game. So in Blood of the Dead, 9, Classified, and now Voyage of Despair. Each of these rooms contains a door that is closed in game, so whenever you just play the map normally, you wouldn't even notice it was there. But what people did a few years ago when Black Ops 4 was relevant and people were playing it is they went to theatre mode or on PC and no-clipped. They went through these doors and saw that compared to the rest of the Zombies maps, it was obvious we were supposed to go in these rooms, but there was no way for us to enter them. So we've known for years that there's more to these BO4 Zombies maps. There is a connection between them all. Each and every one, Blood of the Dead, 9, Classified, and now Voyage of Despair, have secret rooms that Treyarch have made, but we can't enter, which leaves us to believe that they must be part of a super Easter egg. However, BO4 is well and truly over and there is no such thing, so it must have been cut from the game. Now the reason I'm making this video is because there has been a brand new secret room that has been found on Voyage of Despair by someone called Jack47. I think this is actually the same person that found the secret room on 9 as well, and what he's been able to do, which no one else has, is actually render the insides of these rooms. Show us what it would have looked like if we were able to access it legit. Of course we can't, so whenever we go into these rooms in theatre mode, there's not really much in there, no objects, no furniture, decoration, etc. Nothing's rendered in. That's the case for a lot of instances like this in video games. When you go from one area to another, the new area gets rendered in, it loads in, and the area behind you renders out. In this instance, it's not exactly the same, but this player, Jack47, one way or another, I'm not 100% sure how he's been able to do it. I think he's replaced coding in the game files on PC, but he's been able to render the secret room in Voyage of Despair. And when you go in here, well, you can see this is the exact same room that we saw in Voyage's intro cutscene. It is the one where we see this main character, this villain, kneeling in front of this altar, this table, and on top of it we have pictures of all of our characters, Bruno, Scarlet, Diego, and Shaw. In the intro cutscene there's also candles on this table and an image. If we look at this table in game, it's a little bit different because Treyarch have actually added in a few more objects, such as this book with code on it, and the candles aren't there, but this is the same room from the cutscene with a few small changes. And as for what exactly these small changes mean, first looking at the book, this is actually a cipher that got solved ages ago. You might be wondering, well, if we can't enter this room, if we've only just seen the inside of it in game, how did we solve this cipher ages ago if it's only viewable from this room? Well, data miners actually found it within the game files a few years ago. It was solved by Coldstone Gamer. It is a bunch of alchemy symbols, and when you solve them, you get a poem called The Seventh Gate. It reads, "And through the final gate we transform. The world's dualities unite as one. Celebrate this transition, do not mourn. The separation between us undone. Through the darkness we can evolve and pure, but this conversion will not be for all. The path must be forged, for we are the cure. The damnation we survive the great fall. 6 gateways we pass with vigour and might, to become the reflection we now form. The self and the all once more will bind tight. In this new image we are all reborn. The rejuvenation of blood begins. The coalescence with light will be found, the forgiveness of the soul and our sins, the enlightenment to which we are bound." So unfortunately, or I guess you could say fortunately, because we still technically haven't found this code legit in game, Jack has actually had to mess with BO4's game files, the coding, to access this room so we could see this cipher. But we did actually solve it years ago, and considering that this room was only supposed to open once you completed BO4's super Easter egg, and obviously compared to other super Easter eggs that we've had in COD Zombies, usually it involves completing every single Easter egg on every single map in the game. So we can assume the super Easter egg only would have been activated, this door only would have been opened once we completed all of BO4's Easter eggs, once we finished that game and found out the whole story. So this cipher or code was only meant to be found and translated once we'd completed all of BO4's Easter eggs in both Ether and Chaos. So knowing that, this message, I guess, is pretty interesting in a way, if you are interested in the Chaos story, but also at the same time it's slightly disappointing, I think, because we all know that the Chaos storyline was left on a cliffhanger. It finished in Ancient Evil, it was supposed to continue as Year 2 for BO4 or Season 2, whatever you want to call it, but that never happened. That's also probably the reason why we never got the Super Easter egg in BO4, why it was cut. It was supposed to be activated once we completed all of BO4's maps, which would have included more Chaos maps after Ancient Evil, but that never came to be. Those plans were scrapped, meaning the super Easter egg was scrapped as well, but it's evidence of its existence. And you will also notice, if we go back to the secret room, also on the table there is this image, which I'm pretty sure is brand new. We've never seen this before, and it's just been solved by Rich Killer, a very reliable person when it comes to stuff like this. You can see there is an alchemy code on it right here, and this message translates to golden spiral. This one, not as interesting, it's just pretty much describing what we see in this image, but there are loads of other alchemy codes like this one in BO4 Zombies. One of my favourite ones was this one up on screen now, which was a QR code. You can actually scan it for yourself with your phone and see what the message is. I won't tell you. You can scan it for yourself and find out. There is a Braille kind of cipher you can find in Voyage. There's also Morse code. Loads of really cool and different types of codes that you can find in BO4 Zombies, which I loved. And whilst we're on the topic of these secret rooms in BO4, one of the other ones I was talking about was 9. This one I think was also shown to us by Jack. Again, people were able to access it in game through theatre mode and no clip. The room wouldn't be fully rendered in, however Jack has been able to render it. This is what the secret room in 9 is supposed to look like. The only difference with this one is there is obviously a lot of detail missing compared to the one we see on Voyage of Despair, which looks finished. This one isn't, so there was clearly supposed to be more things added into this room that Tryout just didn't get the time to do or was cut. What those things would have been, I don't know. Maybe more messages like we saw in the Voyage one, I'm not sure. And like I said, there's also secret rooms on Blood of the Dead and Classified as well, all which would have been part of Black Ops 4's cut super Easter egg. The only question I'm asking myself now is then, well, what exactly would the super Easter egg in BO4 of consisted of? Surely not just, you know, completing all of BO4's Easter eggs and then getting access to these secret rooms, which would have just given us an extra cipher or two. Compared to BO3 super Easter egg, if you did all of the Easter eggs in that game and then did the final one being Revelations, you were granted 1 million XP, you were also given a calling card, and the RK5 would then be your new starting weapon compared to the, well, whatever the one in BO3 was called. Still, I don't think that was amazing, but it was an alright super Easter egg, so surely Black Ops 4's would have had to match that. Maybe Treyarch would have also given us 1 million XP and another starting weapon. We'll never know now. But yeah, it's cool that we finally found this, but at the end of the day, no one's ever really going to be able to access these doors legitly. It was cut from the game. There's not really much to them anyway. It's unfortunate what happened, which co-aligns with the whole of BO4. Towards the end of that game's life cycle, the budget was cut massively. We never got to finish the Chaos maps, which is probably the reason why the super Easter egg was cut. If we got those final 2 Chaos maps to finish off the story, or the final one, we don't know exactly how many we would have gotten. I assume it would have been 2, then we probably would have gained access to the super Easter egg as well, but it was never meant to be. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.